May 2018 horoscopes with me, Lada from astrolada.com. And as you know, the big event in May 2018 is that Uranus, the planet of big revolutionary changes, is moving into a new sign. We're going to speak about that, but mentioning Uranus, we're making a webinar with April on the 6th of May, which is 20% off if you order now, about Uranus changing signs and how it's going to affect you personally. And everyone who participates will be able to receive an email from us with a description of how Uranus will affect them personally, so they don't need to know any astrology and watch this part of the webinar that's most relevant for them. Take your seat on the webinar now when it's 20% off. And also, Levi is making a Vedic astrology foundational webinar for Western astrologers, so you'll be able to incorporate the most relevant, the most easy, but at the same time the most productive Vedic astrology techniques into your Western astrology practice. It's a 4-week workshop for $160 only, starting at the beginning of May, on the 5th of May, so check out that webinar as well. And at the end of May, I'm starting my foundational course all about the 12 houses, which is 50% off if you get it now. Again, sorry, not 50%, $50 off, and it's gonna last for 6 months. Check out all those classes. Pisces, May 2018. Okay, let's see how Uranus changing signs for the next 7 years is going to affect you, Pisces. Oops, here it is. Uranus has been in your 2nd house for the last 7 years. And for some of you, it might have destabilized your resources quite a lot, or maybe made you change totally how you make money, where the resources and finances are coming for you. But sometimes it might have been, depending on your horoscope, quite shocking or kind of inconsistent financially, or ups and downs. Well, Uranus comes out from your 2nd house. Things can stabilize financially, no more surprises, but it will go into your 3rd house, which is very actually supportive, and it goes there from May 2018. It's gonna be there till, it will go back to the 2nd house a bit. We'll talk about that in future predictions, but it will stay there till 2026. So it means that it's making a sextile aspect to, sextile is a harmonious, supportive aspect to the sign of Pisces, and new things that come to you, because Uranus is totally new things that come to us. And when it's in making sextile to your sign, it means that those new things that come to you, you're able to incorporate them without them disrupting your life, without them destroying your life and having to start all over. It's actually building upon the old. And what you'll be developing new in the next 7 years, guys, some of you maybe already from May can feel that, is new skills. You might develop new skills, how to work with new software. Uranus rules new technologies. Some of you can learn how to use computer, how to use internet. Some of you might delve into, Uranus rules large groups of people, and 3rd house is social media, and so is Uranus, networks. So some of you, especially if you're working in anything to do with marketing, with advertising, with social media, with the internet, with programming, with speaking, writing, with teaching skills, with administrative duties, your career can take a sudden rise. Because wherever Uranus goes, we can have a sudden rise in that area of your life, and it can get revolutionized. It can go to the next level. It might require some adjustment first, changing the way how you do your career, how you do your business. But if it's connected to 3rd house activities, which is business, commercial activities, administrative, advertising, marketing, working with the internet, media, writing, speaking, communications, well, you're gonna have rise in popularity, or you're gonna have innovations, a lot of innovations. If you're a writer, for example, you can start getting larger audience. Or if you're a speaker, because Uranus is large groups of people again, you can start getting large audiences. You can start marketing of a certain product that has a sudden rise as well. Third house is, if you're a writer, you might get sudden download of new ideas to write about, you know, or new topics that you want to talk about, or new interesting, third house is information, so you can start downloading sudden information when Uranus is in the third house. So have sudden realizations and aha moments intellectually here. People that are more intellectually minded will definitely appreciate that energy, because your mind will work much faster. Your mind will can get a little bit of a genius insights and to solve problems, to communicate, and a lot of you might start speaking up their truth more, because third house is about expressing your communicating. And if you've been, Pisces is a mute sign, so sometimes they don't speak up what they want to say. Well, Uranus there can bring you a little bit the foot in the mouth syndrome that Aquarians have, that you can just speak out what you're thinking and start speaking your truth without caring anymore. So you start feeling from May that this can come, you know. It's but just remember, on the practical level, you'll be acquiring a lot of new skills, a lot of there might be a lot of short traveling that happens for you for many years ahead at some time. And the third house rules traveling. There might be a lot of a third house is a lot of new people entering your life, because it's a communicative house. It's a house of associates. It's a house connected to working in small group environments. You might start, there might be some big changes happening in the life of your siblings, relatives as well, that you start observing, like a renewal, rebirth, new beginnings in their life. There might be some new renewals and rebirths and changes that are happening in regards to your communications and what your interest that you have. Third house is interest, what you like to read, what you like to talk about, how you express yourself can get totally transformed suddenly, that you're much more honest, much more direct, something Pisces can benefit from, you know. And you'll attract new people in your life, because third house, again, as I said, is one of the houses of friendship. Okay, let's speak though specifically about May, because this is an influence that will last many years. But May in particular, Neptune is making a trine to Jupiter in your 9th house. Neptune in Pisces, trine to Jupiter in the 9th house. Well, these are the two rulers of Neptune that are in harmonious aspect. Well, it's kind of things that are aligning for you perfectly this month, Pisces. And it's almost the whole month this aspect holds well. And if we take Neptune as the modern ruler of Pisces, Jupiter is sending a trine to the planet that is you, Neptune. It means that there will be like a divine support and help to you that comes. Jupiter is the planet of divine wisdom or clarity. So something that was unclear to you, especially from the 9th house, is the house of higher wisdom. You can ask now for advice and guidance from your higher power, your higher self, God, Christ, whoever you believe in, and you'll be answered. You'll receive very clear directions. So if you're asking for clarity in regards to your path in life, first house, in regards to your future, in regards to what you're supposed to mean, in regards to maybe what to study, higher education, or what path to take in life, do it now. You will receive it either through some mentor. You can ask a mentor, advise a 9th house figures, like a father figure, teacher, someone you respect, someone you admire, someone inspirational that you can ask for help and support that will help you. Or you can just ask your higher self and higher intuition. You'll get clarity. You'll have a bird's view this month because of this beautiful clarifying influence and opportunity that comes, which expand your horizons. Actually, this is a very rare transit that happens once every 5 or 6 years, that Jupiter is aligned in a trine aspect to your planet Neptune, guys. So I think for Pisces, this can be one of the most beneficial months in a long time to get things clear for themselves, to receive some support from people also, because Neptune is you in the first house. 9th house is people that are far away from you. People, for example, that have a different social status, higher social status, people that have more experience than you, more people that are like teachers who've been there, who see the bigger the biggest situation from and who can help you out of some situation, you're going to receive that help. So I would advise you, you know, and even without you searching for it, it can come to you intuitively or through another person, from a person in a higher position, from a person, from a foreigner of some sort, 9th house. Some of you who want to travel to a foreign country, 9 houses, foreign countries, that might be the time that it happens now, or that you arrange some documents that you need to relocate to move to a foreign country of some sort. Some of you that want to get accepted to the right university, high education, 9th house, this very helpful influence will allow you, it will happen almost magically that you get to the best place. It's almost like God takes it and does it for you, you know. If you want to study something else and start on a different path in life, 9th house is about figuring out and pre-qualifying. You'll be able to figure it out and start in that direction as well. What else can happen? Jupiter is people that are wealthy, or people that are benevolent, benefic towards you, who are who like you and who want to help in some way, so you can receive help from such, or just some kind of opportunity that comes to you now in May, or just improved mood overall, because Jupiter is the planet of high vibration, of feeling positive, feeling clear about ourselves, improving our self-confidence, things happening with these, and Neptune is you can receive all that. Or if you're yeah, anything to do with traveling, higher education. So yeah, I think it's a good month for Pisces to take new opportunities, to explore new horizons, maybe even to do some traveling if they can, to maybe think of studying something else, something new as well, and to seek for counsel or advice, because they will receive clarity and answers. At the same time, there is Mars shadow period that is happening now in May. And Mars will be in shadow period in your 11th house and in your 12th house, and after that, from the end of June, it will turn retrograde till the end of August, and then it will pass 3rd time over that segment in the sky, which means that starting already from May, whatever comes to your life in May, you will have to work on it, and it will be a huge focus in your life for the next 4 or 5 months after that, when Mars goes retrograde again, because you'll be going over those areas of your life and focusing on those topics again. You have to fix something, resolve some problem. Mars is the ability, is using our willpower to solve problems, so to improve a situation, you know. And Mars is the planet that we use if we want to make something a habit of ours. So we'll use willpower initially, and then when it becomes a habit, we no longer need it to use willpower. It becomes part of us. But usually when Mars goes retrograde, we use our willpower to turn something from a habit, to form it into a habit. So 12th house and the 11th house is mostly going to be retrograde in your 12th house, and it's mostly going to be in the 12th house in May. So maybe something that is self-sabotaging you. 12th house is addictions. 12th house is things that undermine us. 12th house hidden enemies as well. 12th house, our own hidden enemies. It can be, you know, something in our subconscious, something from our past lifetimes that we kind of, it's like a stumbling stone on us. Or it might be real, actual people that dislike us and are trying to ruin us by gossiping behind our back and something like that. So this stage is setting up that you'll be dealing with such issues for the next few months, Pisces, because of this 12th house influence, and that it might even lead to some kind of you know, people that come into your life now, they might do something behind your back when Mars goes retrograde, or some people can appear, or some people that you start doing something in, they can do something subversive or behind your back while Mars is in retrograde. So pay attention in May. The stage is being set up for those things. But it's also, it doesn't have to be so negative. 12th house is about some expenses. So maybe you might need to have some expenses which you need to make in regards to long-term goals of yours, because Mars will be retrograde in your 11th house, which is your socio-economic goals for the future, long-term goals. So maybe you have to invest. 12th house is investing, money that you give away that will be paid back for you later on, but not now. Now it can feel like expenditure. So something can appear in May that you want to invest in long-term, that will have an that will be connected to your long-term goals, socio-economic goals, but it can feel like expenditure now. But you have to be more careful when you're doing it, because when Mars goes retrograde, you'd have to work harder on it, to put more willpower on it. Also, we talked that Mars can help you use your willpower to overcome certain addictions, self-sabotaging behaviors, not only hidden enemies that we don't have control over. And that it can help you remove those by the time it turns direct, that it will no longer require willpower then, you know. But the stage is becoming set for such things now in in May. And there might be also some friends. 11th house is friends, starting from May, some friends or people from a social environment that you start something now in May, and that when Mars goes retrograde again in your 11th house, you have to work issues with them, fix some problems, or work very hard on some project where you're using your willpower together in a group activity, in a forum of some sort or something, you know, with a group of people that requires a lot of your energy when Mars is retrograde. But the stage is getting set up now in May. So thank you so much, Pisces. Hope that was helpful. Hope that prepared you for the future. And I will see you next month.